The sun rose over the desert hills, casting golden light on a city that had never fallen. Jericho. Its walls were massive, built to withstand siege, to crush any dreams of conquest. The outer wall stood like a giant's shoulder, wide enough for chariots to race across. The inner wall was just as strong, flanked by soldiers and fortified by centuries of fear. No enemy had ever breached Jericho. Its gates were shut tightly, barred, bolted, unyielding. No one came in, no one went out, but the people inside trembled. Because outside their mighty gates camped the Israelites, a nation born in the wilderness, forged in fire and led by a man chosen by God, Joshua, servant of Moses, commander of the Lord's army. Joshua had seen many wonders: plagues in Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea, water from a rock, manna from the sky. But what he was about to witness would etch itself into the soul of history. One quiet morning, as dew still clung to the tents, Joshua walked alone. In the distance, Jericho's walls loomed like mountains of stone. Suddenly, he saw a man standing before him, sword drawn. His presence was overwhelming, neither enemy nor mortal ally. Joshua fell face down.
Are you for us or for our enemies?
Neither, but as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come.
Joshua removed his sandals. The ground was holy. The Lord had a strategy, one that made no sense to human minds. No siege engines, no battering rams, just obedience.
March around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests will carry 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times, and when the priests blow the trumpets, have all the people give a great shout. Then the walls of the city will collapse.
Joshua did not hesitate. As the Israelites camped outside, inside Jericho, a woman named Rahab hid 2 Israelite spies on her rooftop, risking her life in the darkness. She whispered, "I know the Lord has given you this land." Her faith would change everything. The people of Jericho watched from their walls with wary eyes, fear tightening their throats. They heard rumors of the spies and of a God who parted seas. Day 1. At dawn, 7 priests in ancient robes marched before the ark, trumpets of ram's horn in hand. The Israelites followed, silent and orderly, circling the city once. The only sound was the soft call of the trumpets, echoing against the stone. The Ark of the Covenant gleamed at the center, the throne of God on earth. The people said nothing, just footsteps, dust rising. Inside Jericho, silence grew heavy. Mothers hushed their children. Soldiers gripped their spears. The city's gods were silent, but the God of Israel was near. Day 2, the same: march, trumpets, silence. Day 3, still no attack, no words. The tension in Jericho turned into dread. Their gods were silent, but the God of Israel, he was near. Day 4, Day 5, Day 6. The Israelite warriors marched in silence, trusting the impossible. And then came the 7th day. At dawn, the camp stirred early. Today was different. They marched once, then twice, then a 3rd time, 4, 5, 6, 7 circuits around Jericho. The priests blew the ram's horns, louder and louder, echoing off the walls like thunder.
Shout, for the Lord has given you the city.
And from every throat came a cry, not just of war, but of faith, of fury, of worship. A mighty roar that shook the heavens. Suddenly, the unthinkable happened. The walls fell. Not toppled by earthquake or catapult, but by the unseen hand of God. They crumbled inwards, opening the city like a scroll. The Israelites charged forward, swords drawn, hearts ablaze. The city was taken. The Israelites burned it with fire just as God commanded. Only one house was spared, that of Rahab, the prostitute who had hidden the spies weeks earlier. Her faith saved her and her family. From her bloodline would one day come King David, and eventually, Jesus Christ.
Cursed before the Lord is the one who undertakes to rebuild this city. At the cost of his firstborn, he will lay its foundations. At the cost of his youngest, he will set up its gates.
And so Jericho, once the gatekeeper of Canaan, fell. Not by human might, but by divine command. The fall of Jericho wasn't just about military victory. It was about faith, obedience, and the power of God. The Israelites learned that day that walls don't matter when the Lord fights for you, and the world learned that no fortress is safe when heaven marches.